Put me in, coach. What's the word, YouTube? It's your boy, Coach TDOT. They subbed me out. But I'm back in the game, coach. I'm back with some more heat for y'all, boys, man. So check it out, Chad. We're going to get right into this thing today, man. So look, today we're going to be reacting to why even Michael Jordan feared Larry Bird's trash talk? Why y'all capping, G? Y'all know damn well Mike wasn't scared of nobody. Fuck y'all talking about he feared his trash talk. Nigga, Mike was a dog, a goon, nigga. Real killer. Hey, that niggas be seeing clickbaiting, man. Trying to get Coach T.I. mad. It ain't gonna work, because I know y'all lying. But look, for all my new viewers, I don't fake none of my reactions. All my reactions are live. And we gonna watch this shit together. You feel me? Man, let's get into this thing, man. Because they stay trying to rage bait me, folks. It ain't gonna work, man. Because y'all already know how we coming. We ain't just the best in the city, but the best in the world, Craig. Without further ado, I guess Mike and Big Larry.
Here is NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy telling us,
I'd much rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird because you have to play the game as a thinker when you're playing him.
a huge statement
Hey, make sure y'all smash that like button before we get into this. Let's do it.
to make, but there is a reason why Michael Jordan himself feels like this about Larry Bird.
Enjoy yourself, dog. Y'all gave the run for our money.
Curse words said out of love and respect, if you can believe it, as Mike also had a rule for his Bulls teammates: never, ever trash talk Larry Bird. From Mike himself, quote, "Not a single person, not one word, no one talked to Larry Bird." But why was this the rule? Why did the greatest player of all time avoid poking the bear that was Larry? And why did Magic Johnson say this about Bird?
You only told me one lie in your career. Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever be another Larry Bird.
Maybe because
Shit! Nigga, his name is Luka Buka! What is he talking about, nigga? Luka Doncic.
NBA history has forgotten how absurdly overpowering and unforgivingly brutal Larry Bird was. What's up, guys? Mike here, and in his first season in the NBA, Larry Bird won Rookie of the Year over Magic Johnson and finished 4th in the MVP voting as the Celtics went from 29 wins in 1979 without Larry to 61 the very next season. At the time, the largest win increase in league history and a mark that still stands at number 5. Keep in mind, Bird's fame increase in league history.
Shit.
And a mark that still stands at number 5. Keep in mind, Bird's famous Hall of Fame wingmen in Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish would not join the team until 1981. It is a certainty. Without Larry Bird, there was no Celtics dynasty. To put his league dominance into perspective, after his rookie season in seasons 2 through 9, Larry was at the very least in the top 3 of the MVP voting every single year. He also had 3 straight MVPs from 1984 to 1986, a level of play so large that I had to check if anyone had matched it, and 3 straight MVPs has only been matched twice. The other 2 players to do so were Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. All the respect in the world to the guys who got us here, but since the post-merger era, no one has matched Larry Bird's 3 MVPs in 3 seasons during a time in which Magic Johnson was also in his prime.
He was playing chess and everybody else was playing checkers.
Larry's 3rd MVP in 1986 would also be followed up with the Celtics' 3rd title. In comparison, Michael Jordan had 3 MVPs and 3 titles in 9 seasons. And after Larry would win his 3rd MVP, Magic Johnson would look down and realize that he had 0 of his own. Yes, Magic would end up winning 3 MVPs between the years 1987 to 1990, and he would also win an additional 2 titles during that time period, leaving him in the Bird vs. Magic argument as overall the winner, as to be fair, Overall, he did have a resume that would surpass Larry Bird's. However, we need to remember that Larry Bird's career and prime was cut short due to a back injury that was so severe that doctors had to unlock his spine as it had fused into the wrong place. How did he get that injury? Building and paving his mother's driveway in the summer of 1985.
Bro, I told y'all, Larry, bro, just from doing this dumb shit, his ass lost out on millions of dollars, bro. Ruined his $24 million career by building a driveway for his mama. Like, Larry, what was wrong with you, G? Niggas blew the bag out there trying to shovel some dirt. I can't believe you, Larry. If I was your son or something, I'd never be able to forgive you, folk. That's hella mics that I could have got, folk. But your ass want to be out there digging up them hoes, digging up them hoes. Whoa, looking ass, man. Fuck you out there shoveling gravel for, man. Go pay that crackhead ass nigga down the street at the gas station to come do that shit, man. You know he need a couple of dollars, folks. But you want to be out there digging up looking ass, man. Tired of Larry, folks. This story be blowing me every time I hear it, G.
When he was an NBA superstar.
Damn.
Why would he do this during his apex prime? We're going to get into that. But guys, before we continue, I'm very excited to thank Ada for sponsoring today's video. As did you know, there are treatments available now for COVID-19? Yup, that means there's something you can do if you do catch it to avoid getting really sick. The colder months are coming up, we all know that, and COVID-19 cases are on the rise. So it is important if you or your loved ones are at high risk of developing severe COVID-19 to know about the treatment options that are available to you if you're eligible. That way we can get that treatment and spend time together.
I ain't finna be talking about
and taking helps you get below easy at ages of 27 to... Here's where Larry was headed before his injuries did destroy him. From the ages of 27 to 31, Larry Bird averaged 27.3 points, 9.8 and 6.8 assists per game.
Larry was going crazy.
51% shooting, while leading the Celtics to 2 championships, giving him his 3rd overall. This level of productivity was and is unprecedented. Remember, this was a slower era, and compared to even LeBron James at these ages, Bird's stats still remain supreme, as Bron put up 26.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 6.8 assists on 53.5% shooting. I'm not trying to knock LeBron's greatness at all, I'm showcasing Larry's. Only Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook have averaged at least 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists per game during those ages of their career. Unfortunately, unlike the other players on this list, Larry's career was not in his hands after the 1988 season, as the year after finishing 2nd in the MVP voting at the age of 31. At the age of 32, Bird would only play in 6 games and would never be the same. Why?
Dang.
Again, he infamously, instead of hiring workers, built his own grandmother's driveway in the summer of 1985, and during this process, his back slipped out of alignment and locked into unnatural positions, which in the 1980s was a career death sentence. It might be a career death sentence now. In the 1988 playoffs against the Pistons, Bird was hampered by foot injuries and would get surgery on his foot in 1989 after playing 6 games in excruciating pain. It was there that his productivity fell off of a cliff in the saddest way possible. Watching Larry hobble around with a back brace as he still fought to do everything he could to help the Celtics win was a testament to the work ethic and unrelenting drive he had fostered. But where did this drive come from? And why did he trash talk so much? Michael Jordan would say Larry Bird is the greatest trash talker and mind game player of all time. He taught me everything I know about getting in folks' heads. That is a direct quote from Mike, and as we know, the rule during Michael Jordan's time was never talk to Mike. During Michael Jordan's career, he knew Larry Bird both talk the talk and walk the line of friendly banter or trash talk that keeps you up at night. Larry did not want to just beat you on the court, he wanted to embarrass you. Embarrassment is something all of us avoid. It is something that during Larry Bird's career, NBA stars feared. 6-time All-Star Sean Kemp's first meeting with Bird went like this.
Well, first of all, he asked me to jump ball. He said, "You the cat that broke all my records in high school, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "I got you tonight."
Bird would finish with a 40-point triple-double, backing up his talk as was usual for him. him. In the 1987 season, Bird would tell All-Star Xavier McDaniel after a timeout was called with the game on the line.
Larry steps in and says, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way? So he tells Xavier and says, I'm getting the ball.
I said, I know I'm going to be waiting. And he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
5, and Bird has the basketball. Look out.
He shot a shot right in my face. He was like, I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock.
That's what it's all about.
Larry proceeded to drain a game-winning jumper right in Xavier McDaniel's face, right from the spot he said he would. Before a game around Christmas, Bird once told Pacers Chuck Person he had a Christmas present for him, then proceeded to drain a 3 in his face during the game and tell him, Merry Christmas, mother. He'd also tell Person if the Celtics beat the Pacers in the...
Hey, fool. Larry was disrespectful for his trash talk. Nigga told a nigga Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Merry Christmas, mother. Like, Larry drained the 3. Hey, I wish a nigga would say that shit to me, G. We gonna have to fight, fool. We gonna have to fight words. Like, you talking about Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Like real shit. Imagine you playing at a open gym, a pickup game, and a nigga busting your ass, and then he say that shit after he just knocked down a shot, fool. On Christmas Day. You gonna be mad a little bit, fool. Well, if y'all anything like me, you gonna want to fight that nigga. I mean, we ain't letting that shit slide. You ain't gonna tell me Merry Christmas, motherfucker, and just think I'm finna be cool.
Deciding Game 5 of their playoff matchup in 1991, that if Bird won, Persons would have to mow his grass. To which Persons apparently replied, okay, same bet on my end, only of course, it was Larry Bird who came out on top. There is no report if Persons actually mowed the grass. There were reports that Bird openly said he found it to be an insult if a white player was guarding him.
I always tell this story about Larry Bird. He was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. He says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me.
Bird walked into the first ever three-point contest and told everyone in the locker room who is playing for second. Then he did not take his warm-up jacket off as he flew through the field and earned the trophy.
That chick's had my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing. I've been practicing.
Larry refused to shake hands with a rookie Dominique Wilkins.
And Larry put both hands behind his back. He wouldn't shake my hand. In the first play of the game, he said, you don't even belong in the league, Holmes. He said, but I'm still getting 30 on your ass.
And later, against that same Atlanta Hawks team in 1985, Bird would score 60 points as the Hawks bench would get fined by their coach for cheering
Look
him
at them glazing, bro.
60 points.
Larry busting their ass, just gave him 60. Look at how they reacted.
As the Hawks bench would get fined by their coach.
That nigga right there, look, he tooting it up for Larry, fo. Yeah, Larry. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Larry, bro. Over there shaking the ass for Larry, folks. Look at him, hiking his leg up for Larry, folks. Grown ass man over there, G. Larry over here dropping their ass off. Look at him just going crazy. Fan ass nigga. That's why your ass got fined.
And then finally, at the end of this game,
he literally said, off the glass into the trainer. And, yeah, and so it was a bad night.
And of course, the shot went right in.
It always seems like I get the last word.
And speaking of three-pointers, we haven't even mentioned that Larry is considered one of the greatest shooters ever for good reason. From 1985 to 1988, Larry Bird averaged 2.5 three-point attempts per game and made 41.4% of those shots, which might seem underwhelming. However, in the final season of his prime, 1988, Bird would attempt over 3 threes a game at a time where NBA teams as a whole averaged, wait for it, just 5 three-point attempts a game. Larry paved the way for the three-point shooting explosion that would come. He was a transcendent player for his time. In the 2024 season currently, Luka Doncic is averaging over 10 three-pointers a game. Playing in a three-point era would have opened Larry's game in ways we can't quantify, so we won't play what if here. Instead, let's ask.
Nah, we can't say that, folks. Let Larry be, G, because if the nigga would have started taking more threes, who says that he would have been making more threes? He would have just been a high-value shooter like Luka. I feel like the 3-ball stops niggas from being as aggressive as they could be. You feel me? Like, Larry wouldn't have been nearly as aggressive as he was. Y'all like this Larry, right? The Larry that we saw, the one that's competitive, getting all always just getting to the basket or trying to create shit for other people. Like, Larry wasn't just settling for threes, folks. Larry was getting it going. Getting to it. Imagine the nigga just out there just settling for threes. Like, yeah, he probably would have scored a couple of more points more. But nigga, I love the Larry that we had, man. I'm glad he wasn't out there just chucking threes. Cause that shit be low-key making me mad when I watch niggas like Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, when they be just shooting threes, settling and shit, bro. Like that shit, bro. That'd be the worst for me, folks. Cause I can't even enjoy they game for real. Cause if you want to just shoot threes all day, like I know the threes get you more points and it gets you to 30 points faster and shit like that. But bro, come on, man. I want to start seeing niggas get grizzy, get grimy. Nigga, get to the Baja. Shooting so much.
3 straight MVPs, 3 championships with the Celtics, and the ultimate trash-talking legend who you could never shake yourself. What made Larry Bird develop this persona? The answer is a lot of pain and a lot of hardship. Because why would an NBA superstar build a driveway himself during his prime and not just hire someone? It might seem absurd to us now, only that type of put in the work yourself mindset was instilled in Larry at a young age out of necessity. Born to a poor family in French Lick, Indiana, population under 2,000. By the 7th grade, Larry Bird was clocking in 40 hours a week at the local market, where he was paid a few dollars and whatever food he could fit into a brown bag to take home. Larry Bird knew hardship, but he never complained. He instead put his head down and worked. His loyalty to his family was so great that his dad had to offer him $20, a huge sum of money for his family, of course, at that time, to get Larry to even try out for the high school basketball team despite Larry's, of course, greatness. It was during high school that Larry's talent shone through, as he averaged over 30 points per game and 20 rebounds per game as a high school senior, where he also had the classic growth spurt story, going from 6'1" as a sophomore to over 6'7" by the time he accepted a scholarship to Indiana University to play for the legendary Hall of Fame coach Bob Knight, R.I.P. Bob Knight. This pair seemed destined for greatness, as both Knight and Bird are known for their tremendous basketball IQs only. The harshness of Indiana's system combined with his family obligations had Bird knowing this was not the place for him. In a shocking move to everyone, Larry would never play a single game in Indiana, and the Hoosiers, without Bird, would go on to win the 1976 NCAA championship. Bird could have been a part of that famous team, but he instead decided to hitchhike back home to French Lick, as he had a newly born daughter to take care of and a dad who would tragically end his life shortly after Larry came back to help the family. Larry would say at this time basketball was his outlet, saying it was his way out, and when Indiana State coach Bill Fitch came back to recruit Larry, he was now ready to rejoin the basketball world and realize his destiny. After years of hardship and struggle, Larry took this pain out on unsuspecting opponents, and at Indiana State, he immediately became a superstar, averaging 32.8 points, 13.3 rebounds, 4 assists on over 54% shooting in his first college season. In his third and final college season, yes, Larry would famously lose to Magic Johnson and the Michigan State Spartans in the most televised college basketball game of all time, a record that still stands. This game would launch the Bird vs. Magic rivalry, and overall that season, despite the loss, Larry had led Indiana State to a 33-1 record as he put up 28.6 points, 14.9 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. Larry would later say this loss was the hardest of his career, and he still finds it hard, as when the team returned after losing the title, thousands of Indiana State fans greeted them despite the outcome, a move that touched Larry to his core and caused him to dedicate the Celtics 1984 championship to the people of Terre Haute, Indiana. Larry never ever forgot where he came from. Boston believed in Bird so much that they actually got the NBA to change the draft rules in 1979, as Red Auerbach, one of the most important men in basketball history, convinced everyone to allow teams to draft a player who was still playing in college as long as that NBA team signed the player before the next draft. This seemed like an innocent rule change, and one that would benefit the players, only everyone would watch in horror in 1979 as Red used this rule to draft Larry Bird with the 6th pick, as the rule was immediately removed, but the damage was done. Boston had stolen Larry, and they would pay him the largest rookie contract in league history, of course, at the time. And we know how the rest of the story goes, the back injury that derailed him. The real question is, what if Larry Bird was never injured? With Bird's injuries, the Detroit Pistons took over the the East, and Magic Johnson cemented himself as the greatest point guard to ever.
Wow! I just thought about that shit. That's why the Pistons started winning, folks. Cause of Larry. Man, we gotta talk about this, G. I never really peeped that, fuck. Cause the Celtics show was domination in the 80s. And then all of a sudden the Pistons just snuck in and won 2 rings. Just, you know. No wonder. Nigga Larry back was messed up. Hey, y'all think y'all slick, fuck. Gonna try to sneak in history like that, fuck. I see what y'all did. But I can't do nothing but respect it, folks, because y'all did what y'all had to do. You feel me? Y'all took advantage of Larry being out and broke back Larry. But y'all something else, folks. Y'all had me fooled. See, I was thinking that y'all niggas was just like that. And nah, nigga, Larry was just out. Big Larry was hurt, folks. He opened the door wide open for y'all niggas to come in and win, G. Y'all be trying to walk around like y'all real champs. Nigga, if Larry was still playing, y'all wouldn't have won nothing, man. Real talk. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Had never happened. Bird would have been Michael Jordan's roadblock, as in his last healthy season, Larry was second in MVP voting to Michael Jordan, as Bird averaged 29.9 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 6.1 assists per game on almost 53% shooting. It is of course possible the bad boy Pistons still would have taken down the Celtics. All I know is that they never were able to do it while Larry was healthy. To me, this is similar to when Michael Jordan went and took a break playing baseball. The Houston Rockets stepped in and won 2 championships only. Larry Bird was never able to return to the player he once was. Except it's here that we again continue to see Larry Bird's true character and his true mindset. Many would have given up basketball immediately, as it was feared that playing basketball would cause Larry to not be able to walk. That is how much pain he was in. Despite the injuries, Larry played through this pain. Larry fought and even chose to represent the United States and play on the Dream Team, dedicating himself to an entire summer of practices and Olympic play. Even though his NBA career was over, he did not play in the 1993 season. That is who Larry Bird is. A workhorse, a man whose spirit cannot be broken, and one of the greatest players we have ever seen touch a basketball. His trash talk was famous, his play was unforgettable, and the way he got there is a true inspiration to anyone looking to make it out of a tough situation. He didn't complain, he worked as hard as he could, and he never looked back on his way to greatness. So there we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications.
Alright, y'all. That's the end of the video, man. Still, nigga, they really just tried to rage bait us with this title, talking about why even Michael Jordan was fear Larry Bird's trash talk. Man, Mike wasn't scared of that shit, man. Mike was not scared of Larry's trash talk. He just said, like, Larry, like, you don't want to trash talk him, but, bro, like, that don't mean the nigga was scared. He just was smart. Like, he knew, like, all right, if I talk shit to him, like, that's just going to make him want to get it going even more, folks. When whole time, I think Mike would have held his own against Larry, like, even if he was talking shit to him. I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see Larry and Mike come to blows or something, or, like, they talking shit so much that they just going at it head to head, folks. Like, just, you know, that would have been a good battle. But I would think both of them respected each other so much that they just didn't do that shit. They steered away from talking shit to each other. Like, you know, like, and when I be watching Mike and Larry highlights against each other, they was never guarding each other, folks. The only time Larry guarded Mike was when Mike put up 63 on his ass, G. Then that was what, second year Mike? Like, you feel me? Y'all see what happened when he was guarding Mike, nigga. A 60 ball. Fuck. Alright, but look, y'all, that's the end of the video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I ain't get triggered too much by this shit. You feel me? He tried to with the title, but they ain't get me, coach. You know? But look, man, if y'all enjoyed it, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's your boy, Coach TDOT, man. I'm up out of here. I love y'all.